Hey y'all, today I have total boat resin. I went to Walmart. Of course, I'm always looking for things that I can use in resin. I also went to Michael's too, but first I found these really cool molds. They're for chocolate or jello or whatever. They're to make cups, you know, for desserts and things. Let me grab. I kind of ripped the package up, but I do have a picture of it, so I will try to post that at the end of the video. It's a shredded box is what it is. They are called shot glass mold. Sorry, my lighting is... And you can see here the chocolate jello molds or whatever that you can make with it, but it's silicone, so I figured to give it a shot. It will make a hollow spot in the bottom of your resin mold. So that opens things up to a really cool design idea, and that's what got my brain going. I was like, oh. So I can do, say, an outer shell, and then let that harden, and then put something else, wood or whatever it is. The main reason why I got this is because I like to make those shaving brush handles, and I was thinking of ways I could do that without having to say, you know, do resin and wood without having to cut a complete round circle, and to not waste resin as well, and some kind of mold that would be enough to where I have, for mistakes or whatever it is that I end up messing it up. So I thought, how neat. I could do a resin outside, because this makes like a cup. It's actually upside down, but you know, you plop it out and then it has a inside. You could either pour more resin or cut a piece of wood circular to the size of this inside here and then just resin or glue that in with resin later on. But I thought it would be neat because you can do more of a clear outer layer, or have something, you know, going on the clear outer layer, and then in the inside have something dark. So even if you wanted to do like a small Hot Wheels car, or, I mean, my brain is just so many ideas for this. So I figured this would be a really cool project to try for the first time with my Total Boat resin. Thank you, Total Boat. So this is the high performance epoxy slow hardener, and that's what I want to do because, I mean, this isn't a lot of resin it's going to use. I actually, to see how much resin I would need, I filled one of these with water and then just filled that water into this cup, so that way I had an idea of how much. Now, being this is a 2-to-1, and I didn't go online and print out the actual measurement sheet. I'm looking at this thing here as far as, you know, 1 pump of the red, 1 pump of the blue, and that is your ratio. Automatically the pumps are set up to where they do the stuff for you. So I'm going to try it that way first because you know, that's the way they have it, instructions for you to set up. If it ends up being a little off, or something's weird or strange, or maybe there's something I did wrong, please don't hesitate to message me and say you broke it, because y'all know me. So I'm going to go ahead and get my, I already cut 1 pump to fit for my red one. I'm going to get this one cut, and then I probably, because I want to, the outside resin for this, because this is, you know, designed to where you can add something else in the center, I'm going to just use this neat, sorry if the lighting's too harsh. It's like an iridescent, you know, what do they call it? It's just confetti glitter made out of, what is it made out of? I don't know. It was $2 at Michael's, and I really love the iridescent in it. So I'm just going to keep it simple for right now for a test. I don't want to get too crazy. I have a lot of crazy ideas for this, and so I just, for right now, for testing purposes, I want to keep it simple because I don't want to waste a ton of goodies or stuff that I have and throw it in here and then end up not working out. So just keeping it simple for a test. I just thought it would be a really cool idea, and even if I fail at this, someone else may not. So silicone mold at Walmart, it was $6.97. At Michael's they were $2 more. So the only way it would be worth it is if you had a coupon or something. Maybe you might save a few cents. But it is the chocolate jello molds. It is silicone, so I'm hoping that the resin should pop right out whenever it's done. It's not designed to be baked in, just froze or put in the refrigerator. So I'm hoping the heat, if this epoxy does create some heat, it doesn't damage the silicone, because it is not intended for baking. So it's an experiment, and thank you guys for joining me with this one. But I'm going to cut my pump, get my mix going. Like I said, I'm just going to add some of this iridescent stuff, and I'll probably, my next pour after that, I might throw in, I don't know, you can pretty much throw in anything, because if you don't turn past the outer layer into the inner layer, you could put metal in there, you can put, you know, things that you can't normally like turn on your lathe because you don't want to damage your tools or something that's too hard, but you'll have it inside, and you can, and it creates its own little cup, so you can second pour inside the first pour. Excuse me, I'm excited. So we'll get to it, and right now I'm just gonna pour it. I don't know how long this takes to set up. I'm assuming a couple days, because it's designed to where you don't have to have a pressure pot. Excuse me, a pressure pot, and so that way the air bubbles come out. So we will see. It's a test, and it might be a pretty ambitious test. So I will come back whenever I'm about to pour, and we'll see how that all looks. And then, of course, I'll have to wait a few days before I can show you what happened. But it'll be interesting either way. All right. Got my pumps in. I pumped it, like I said, until no air bubbles. I went ahead and, because I don't like to waste anything, so I went ahead and poured. I used this stuff to pump out, you know, for air bubbles, and I went ahead and poured it in one of my containers. I figure once, it's not all the way full, but I'm going to test that and put like a new layer, a new color. You can also take and put something under this. Here, let me pull this back so you can see it. You can also put something under this and tip it like that, so inside the mold you have a line that's, you know, tilted. Pour again. I'm assuming you can pour on top of this. I've seen people do it. So pour again, and then you have, you know, lines going, you know, like this through your mold, which is even more awesomer. So I think I did, to fill it about 2/3 of the way, excuse me, it was 3 squirts. So I'm going to do 4 and 4, and maybe I'll use this cup. No, I should have gotten a see-through cup. Stupid. But anyways, I'll use this as a gauge. My cup of water that was, I used water to fill this to see how much I needed. So I'll use that as a gauge to see if I have enough resin. And then I'm going to add some of these in there. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Put those ribbons. 1, 2, get on, quick. 3, 4. Let me see. I need about 5 or 6. 1 and 1. Yep, that did it. Perfect. I'm going to have a little bit more, which is okay, because I will finish filling that mold. I guess I should have gloves on. Oh, well. Yeah. I like to get excited first. Then prepare after I get to the point where I need to prepare. Alright. So, here is my resin. It says to mix for 2 to 3 minutes. Alright. Now I'm going to add some Sparkle Arkle. I'm trying to see it. Anyways, hopefully I don't have too huge pieces. They did have glitter that was cut out, you know, large glitter that had the same iridescent-y stuff. I guess I should have probably gotten it. I didn't realize that there were like large pieces in there. I know now.
There you go, Kim. Now you're thinking ahead. Anyways, whatever. Please drip. Guess we gotta make sure. I have a piece of glass that we use for polymer clay underneath of it right now, but keep in mind, I guess because of the pressure from the pump, these will drip, so I'll probably stick one of these cups, like, over it, just for cleanup purposes.
Alright, here we go. I poured water in one of these. I want to make sure I'm not putting this in over top of water, because resin and water do not like each other. I'll play it safe. I know I definitely didn't put water in this one. So, I'm just pouring it in here. Hopefully you guys kind of get the gist. There's like a center thing sticking up through, so I'm just pouring it on that to help possibly eliminate air bubbles. I know this is a thick set, so it takes, hold on, yeah, slow hardener. Yeah, sorry, it's not thick set, it's the high performance with the high performance slow hardener. I guess I better get that right, huh? But I hope this works out. I hope that in however many days it takes for this to set, I can say that this mold is awesome, exciting, and you guys can try it yourself. Hopefully I can get it out of here. So, it's, you know, from what I understand, resin doesn't stick to silicone very well, and it is squishy, so you can just push, you know, on it. So hopefully I can get it out of here. We may be laughing very hard on my next video when I try to get these out of here. Anyways, we'll see you guys then. Hey everybody, so I went ahead and poured my resin in the mold like my last video. I went ahead and popped it out. It did come out. I did this a couple days ago, but less than about 2 hours after I filled my mold, it was hardened. Like, I was able to pop it out. So I was like, okay, I thought this was supposed to be a slow cure. And of course, me and lack of reading directions for everything, I went online and found out that after 3 hours, it's cured using this one here, slow hardener. So, I mean, if that's how fast it cures with the slow, it'd be amazing with the fast, as long as you get it in your pressure pot in time. Anyways, it cured like within 3 hours. I was able to pop it out, and then I looked, the final cure, I guess like the hardening part where it completely hardens, is 5 days. I'm not going to have time to turn this until maybe Saturday anyway. I started this, on a Tuesday, and today is Thursday. So Saturday, I think it should be good. I mean, if people throw this in their pressure pot, pop it right out, throw it on their lathe, be fine. Now the little confetti stuff that I did use in it, whatever got trapped at the bottom, or at the top, sorry, because it goes in like this, it floated to the top, and then some got trapped at the very bottom. So even though this was a really light material, you know, that confetti is a really light material, it still found its way, which is fine. I mean, I just, you know, you learn from that next time too. If you want to put a lot of stuff in there, maybe use either a different resin or layer it so you can keep things suspended, or I don't know, whatever. So I'm going to turn this probably into a makeup brush for my daughter. So I'm really excited because that did work. Of course, I haven't turned it yet, and I will get to that this weekend and hopefully have this video all wrapped up for you this weekend after I turn it. I'm going to try to fill the cavity in here with some feathers. And what I was thinking is, because feathers are very, very light, and obviously they're just going to want to float to the very top, I'm going to put a dab of super glue around in the inside and try to get the feathers to stick. I'll probably do pink. I think that would be great for her, some pink feathers that I just got these at Hobby Lobby. They had them 50% off, so I couldn't help myself. My last video I did talk about my former wood turner president. He uses feathers in his pieces. I'm going to grab one really quick so you can see what I'm talking about. It is gorgeous. Hopefully, I mean, this camera might not do this justice. It's a little dusty. But that red and blue in there, you see, is feathers. And I'm thinking he used resin. I'm not sure quite the process. I would love to learn this particular technique from him, but until he has time, I am going to just trial and error, doing it myself with whatever, but that is just beautiful. He has several other pieces he's done that does not have resin, that they are just perfectly overlapped and laid on each other, and doesn't have resin over top of it. So some beautiful ideas for, I mean, all kinds of stuff. So with this particular technique, I'm hoping to get the feathers to stick on the inside, so I can, like something like that. Alright, so I'm going to cut this just at the depth of the pot. Look at that. Ooh. I know some of you guys might not be interested in this particular style, and I understand, but most of these, I mean, other than shaving brushes, which that's what I could think you could use this for, most of these types of jewelry boxes, and if you wanted to use this, I even thought of using this as a lid or a finial, you know, for a lid. Let me grab a lid to give you an example. That's what I'm talking about. This one's made out of teak, and this part of it fits into the pot or the box, and this is a pretty good size. Now obviously that's quite a bit bigger, but if you wanted obviously a bigger lid, you have plenty of material here to do it with, and you can fill this with wood or, you know, whatever you're, I mean, I have so many different ideas. I probably don't have enough resin or time to do it all. I'm sure you guys feel the same way, so I think that would be very interesting to make. I mean, that's about the same height. A cute little lid, you know, out of resin, even if the very bottom of it was the wood that you used, and then it gradually, you know, crept up. So obviously you do it this way, so it gradually crept up in the inside, that wood with the resin on the outside. I also thought of, and if any of y'all decide to try to do this, please let me know if it worked. I also thought of trying to make Christmas ornaments and turning the inside of this into a snow globe. Yeah, I haven't thought that process through completely, so I have no idea if that will work or not. But if any of y'all are willing to try that, please let me know your process. I may attempt to do it. It's just going to be a little time learning this resin and possibly getting a pressure pot. And see, I don't know if you could do that in a pressure pot because that water being in there, or oil. I don't even know what you would want to use. I don't know if you could get it capped off to where that resin isn't. I figured like making another resin disc this size, capping it and gluing it to this lid, so that way you don't have to try to fit it inside there, you know what I mean? Gluing another piece of resin on the top with your whatever you want for your snow globe stuff in there, and it will shake like a snow globe. I think it would be really cool to try, and I'm sure, I mean, they make snow globes out of plastic and everything, so there has to be something out there you can use. I mean, if you guys think about even like a rubber cap, because once this is set, you don't have to worry about water being on it, obviously. It's just whatever you design or put at the top here. And then you have a little bit of room to shape it if you want to, where it's a little rounded or whatever, and put, just something to hang. And that could be a really cool Christmas ornament. I've wanted to share this several days ago, but I wanted to wait until I tried it first, obviously. So right now I'm just going to put a little strip of super glue. Now I do know one thing about resin and super glue. You want to make sure that the super glue is completely dry before you pour the resin in there. Otherwise it will create air bubbles and like a foggy, feather sticking to my finger, a fogginess around your resin. So there's a pink one. You can kind of see it. This mold has, I guess, well, it's not really textured, it's kind of smooth, but it left like a foggy haze look on here, and that's not foggy haze as far as air bubbles go. It just left like this foggy haze. So I assume once I get it sanded down and start to polish and everything, that will probably go away. And it'll be a little more clear. Of course, you'll see the air bubbles, but at least it'll be a little more smooth. Oh, these feathers are in my nose. So I just glued in just 3 pieces. I feel like that will be plenty enough.
Alright, let me try that. I had such a quiet day, so busy this week. Alright, so 1, 2. I first did this thing like to drip. 1, 2, I'll do 3, because I'm going to have to do 3 of these. 1, 2, 3. I guess we'll find out, huh? Alright, so this is like a reddish color. I haven't opened it yet. I use the lid that I made. Calm it down, T-Cat. Any of you guys that live nearby me want a kitten, his name is Fat Cat, and he is looking for a forever home. Please message me. Let's see. I'm going to put 2 drops. Try to make it fast. Now that smells different than the other ink. That's why you wear gloves. I'm going to be pink all day. Maybe it is alcohol. I don't know. Anyways, I don't want to get too dark because I don't want to make the pink feathers look like one solid color. Yeah, that's light. It's a very light, like, barely see it. Without pouring it out on my table. Anyways, you can kind of see it. It's a very, very light pink. I think that's good enough. I don't want to push it because, 1, if this coloring... anyways, if this coloring is what really causes some of the bubbles, I don't want to put too much on the inside in here because I can turn away some of the surface bubbles, but the inside I don't plan on touching. I might, be getting into some of it because I'm going to, put a little handle, like a grip, sort of like you do for the shaving brushes. Okay. So that is what it looks like now. It's kind of foggy a little bit. I don't want to touch it too much because it is wet. The feathers are staying pretty good. They're staying stand out too. I was afraid the weight of the resin would cause them to go, you know what I mean? That. I was afraid that the weight of the resin would cause them to do that. And it hasn't, so it looks good thus far.
I just put a feather on there. Jazz it up a little time to get. Takes a little time in my throat. Takes a little time to get the stuff.